Do you need to have a strong runway walk in order for you to get signed to be a model? Probably the most gimmicky thing I've seen in the entire space of pursuing modeling is these classes that aspiring models will take in order for them to learn how to walk better on the catwalk and do runway, right? But realistically, not every model that signs to Wilhelmina, Ford, Next, IMG, all of these top modeling agencies will actually do runway. Now, I've said this before, but runway modeling is its own niche. It's its own sector in fashion modeling. The only times that you'll ever really audition to do a runway show is at a casting that you can only get access to once you're signed to a modeling agency. So the idea that there are people who are not signed spending money to learn how to runway walk when the chances of them actually doing runway are slim to none is so disingenuous and weird. Now, I love the idea of you taking runway classes so that you can become more self-aware and walk with confidence in your day-to-day life. But if you're investing in these classes because you think it's going to help you get signed to a modeling agency, no, that's just wrong. If you actually have a future in doing runway modeling, it first starts with you getting signed. And then from there, you're going to have access to resources, to better coaches that will actually train you how to walk runway the right way. Because the other issue is that there are a lot of people that are aspiring models that are learning how to walk not the right way, and then they take those habits into their modeling careers and have to unlearn everything they paid to learn. And it's harder to train bad habits out of someone than to train someone new habits. You shouldn't even be worrying about runway modeling or perfecting your catwalk until you get signed to a legitimate agency. And then once you're signed to that agency, is runway modeling even a niche that you have the ability to tap into? If that's the case and you've already had this discussion with your agency, then they're already going to be preparing to develop you so that you can walk the runway in preparation for one of the fashion weeks. This is really the only time that runway modeling and perfecting your walk become important in your career, but you should never do that first. It's so random and it's just so silly that people would do that before they're ever even signed. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you're getting interviewed by an agency for a pending contract, if they're taking an interest in you, they're never going to ask you to do a runway walk for them. They never do that, okay? The only two things you need to be focusing on before you get signed is having strong modeling digitals and building up a dope modeling portfolio. Those are the only two things you need to be worrying about. You don't need to be worrying about your runway walk until you get signed to an agency who is telling you that you're going to be walking at Fashion Week. If you decide to want to pay for coaching or classes to learn how to runway walk, just note that's really for confidence building exercises for your day-to-day life and your personal growth, but it's not for modeling because most of these coaches have no idea how to even walk the right way.